Good morning, evening, afternoon. I'm tatocat. Welcome to my channel. Today we're playing Echoes, the Lucid9 Fangame. Previously, well, we kind of got whooshed over to Limney's Gates Autonomous Zone, and Hisao tried to hit on Irie, which did not end well for him. And now we're listening to Unbroadcast here in the Limney's Gate territory, and it's kind of creepy. And we're about to hear said broadcast from question mark. Alright, let's continue. I'm assuming this is the mayor, so welcome on and welcome all. From upon the backdrop of the Isamu meritocracy's flag, the voice of Mayor Masaru Inori thunders through the district. And the air comes alive with 1,000 screams of ecstasy. Strangely, his face is nowhere to be seen on any of the billboards above. And after a second incredibly quick shot of the empty podium, almost too quick, a visualized waveform graphic appears, stretched to fit the screen in an awkward aspect ratio. I catch a few perplexed expressions from the nearby crowd, but their collective enthusiasm remains largely unaffected. The glitch itself could be easily ignored by the average model citizen, or interpreted as a honest mistake or some tech intern who will be shot immediately if said mistake happened. Now burdened with a few extra weeks of mandated overtime as retribution for their gaffe. Nope, definitely shot. After all, this is the meritocracy. You know, you can't mess with the mayor. Even so, it's still a bit unsettling. 3N would likely have their A-team working on this. So why does everything look like it was slapped together at the last minute? And why was nobody standing behind that podium? On behalf of the Isamu meritocracy, I once again wish to offer my thanks to each and every one of you. Yeah, I had that derpy voice for him. The survival of our glorious nation and its people has not been quite guaranteed from our boardroom and seats of power, but from our schools of markets, streets, factories, hospitals, and fields, both those of battle and agriculture. The state alone is not enough to uphold and preserve our way of life. Our survival is the work of every man, every woman, every child, every laborer, every tradesman, every commander, every warrior, and each and every citizen of Isamu. While these misguided citizens of the hostile and primitive world beyond our borders fumble in the dark, we stand as beacons of light. Our mutual sacrifice and allegiances to our glorious national lighting, glorious nation lighting the way for all those willing to serve the cause of order and prosperity. Through our infinite might and unshakable fortitude, we have risen above the archaic prejudice of our class, gender, faith, and ethnicity. We have set aside our differences and come together, distinct yet inexorably bound as one against the vandals, terrorists, traitors, and outside agitators that seek to infiltrate our homeland and destroy our way of life. We have said that, okay, I went up because the whole background changed. In our greatness, we have honored the nobility and glory of our imperial predecessors, and long since eclipsed our contemporaries. In a world that lies broken apart and dying, Isamu remains intact and thriving thanks to the dedication and heroism of its citizens. Today, as your mayor, I wish to offer each and every one of you proof that your heroism has borne fruit over the past month. Just yesterday, the ISMS Tengoku set sail on its maiden voyage from Nagoya to the flagship of our military, 690 meters in length and displacing 580,000 tons of water. In District 1, the prominence of nanocommunications tower near completion as I speak these very words. When activated, Limniscate engineers estimate that it will eclipse even the 7G transmission towers in terms of connectivity, offering up 100 petabytes per second in wireless network speed anywhere within Isamu's borders. To this day, Isamu's annual gross domestic product and military budget both remain the largest in the world, measured at 5.2 quadrillion yen and 40 trillion yen respectively. And it is thanks to you that they have surpassed all others. But as always, numerous threats remain in this world, and they are threats that, if left unchecked, will seek to challenge Isamu's very existence. Some are natural and some are not. At any given moment, we may face both the sting of the elements and the cunning of our enemies. But while we still stand, they will not retreat. We must be prepared to eradicate them. That doesn't sound creepy, culty, or evil at all. The mayor hesitates. As your head of state, it is my duty to inform you that the rumors about a viral outbreak in District 6 are true. This pathogen, named the 2040 novel influenza-like virus, or novel 40. By WayForward Corporation's last year has thus far only infected citizens of the lower classes, but it will not spare those whose pockets run deep. Earlier today, the Isamu Ministry of Health declared novel 40 to be an epidemic and locked down the entirety of District 6 with the intent of preventing it from spreading to the rest of our city. Novel 40, which previously infected the mainland, has been classified as level 4 biohazard by the World Health Organization and category 10 lethal substance by the International Nuclear Peace Council, the highest classification on both scales. Symptoms present in those infected may include coughing, sneezing, nasal congestion, shortness of breath, paranoia, anxiety, sweating, a dangerously accelerated metabolism, obstruction of the lungs, immunosuppression, and, in serious cases, death. As a nation, we have every right to be afraid. We face an unseen enemy, but it is the duty of all of us to prepare to strike back at this invisible evil. Only united can we exact vengeance upon it for its audacity. I will warn you now that there will be casualties. However, we are not defenseless, and in this scourge, and if this scourge takes even one of our own, it will face dire ramifications. Yes, I'm sure the virus is terrified of you right now. It is so scared. As we speak, the Isamu Ministry of Health is working closely with WayForward's Department of Epidemiology and Black Star Security to organize a preemptive inoculation effort. As was the case last year, vials of the synthetic needleless white blood cell injection known as immune serum will be distributed to all citizens as soon as they are produced. And their rate of production is only increasing thanks to the efforts of our steadfast private sector. Last year, the mayor says that phrase makes my the way the mayor says that phrase makes my blood run cold. He states it so matter-of-factly, like it's common knowledge, and it is. But are we supposed to ignore the fact that another biological crisis is happening again, almost immediately after the first? A year ago, WayForward stepped up to create an immune serum and to help protect Isamu from the hemorrhagic rhinovirus. And before we have time to forge the details of that epidemic, another more virulent one rears its head. Almost like the last was some sort of practice run. But it couldn't have been the case. Could it? While regular injections of immune serum have proven to be nearly 100% effective in clinical trials, your cooperation is required. For the sake of yourself, your nation, and your family, I humbly ask that you comply with the following two ordinances that the Merit Council passes into law today. The mayor's voice takes on a darker, more foreboding tone. When the distribution of immune serum begins, any and all citizens chosen for inoculation are legally obligated to comply with regular injection protocols at the nearest medical clinic. Failure to do so will result in the potential liquidation of the non-compliant assets and citizenship by Department of Corporate Intelligence and Security. For safety reasons, all non-essential civilian travel in and out of District 6 is now prohibited. As per the directives of the Ministry of Civil Security, the district's borders have been heavily fortified by the Black Star security forces stationed there. Any citizen who attempts to cross the border in any direction without proper authorization will be apprehended with direct and unrestricted force. Can't read the rest of that. I anticipate that a majority of you will act in a sensible manner. Like, seriously, will they? Will they act in a sensible manner? I feel like some of the ones who are just like, yes, the leader says so, we shall obey, drink the Kool-Aid, you know? And then others are like, fuck this. And then they try to run away. Like, you know, that's usually how it goes. And then there's some people who are like, I'm not going to drink the Kool-Aid, but I'm going to listen. Because running seems like death, and so does Kool-Aid. However, it has come to my attention that in some areas of this great city, certain deviant polities have begun to show their disdain for the Isamu meritocracy, its valiant citizenry, and the values upon which we have built a nation that stands rivaled by none. Just as we are all guided by the superlative might of Isamu, we have all pledged our lives to protect the values of our nation stands. The values our nation stands for: loyalty, bravery, self-sufficiency, endurance, family, nation, and tradition. As I give this address, Many of you have likely already seen footage of the acts of inhuman destruction some of these more extreme groups have committed. You have likely seen their willingness to endanger civilians and heard them slander the very state that preserves their lives, those of their friends and family, and the lives of everyone currently receiving this transmission. Those who already oppose these violent insurrectionists have nothing to fear, but I caution you to remain vigilant. Your former acquaintances and neighbors may fall victim to the lies that Isamu has abandoned its brave and loyal citizens, which is not true. We do care about the rich people, but we all know poor people don't count. Oh, he didn't say that? Okay. And turned its back on its most unfortunate. As a citizen of Isamu, it's your duty to set those who have been deceived back on the path of understanding. And to those who are unsure of what they wish to believe, I say this to you. It's not an option. Believing is good. Not believing is death. Oh no, he didn't say that either? Okay. You may choose your own path, but always remember that an arrow is most easily broken when it's pulled from the quiver. If you are truly... Oh, he did say it basically. He just said it in a more poetic way. If you are truly contemplating whether or not you should stand with those who stand against us, ask yourself, is it worth it? And to those who have already turned, do you believe in life after love? I couldn't help it. Do you believe that you are in the right when you burn your own nation's factories and turn your backs on the lives of the innocent civilians within? Do you believe that you will achieve anything, though through mindless violence, against the very state that protects you from the same? Do you believe that your outnumbered, weak condition best on all sides by those that are stronger than you? I don't know. And most importantly, do you believe that you can win? I don't think they can win. I think they can make a impact and maybe influence some people that can win. I think that's the goal. I hope that you will make the choice to stand by your nation in these uncertain hours and to never give in to the same hatred and wanton violence that these terrorists and criminals thrive in. And in the trying times, the world fought and crumbled as the survival of entire families was sabotaged by the whims a volatile and inefficient global market. As a nation in our own right, we were not exempt from these trials. We had those who lost their purpose and roamed the streets in agony. We had our lot of criminals, malcontents, insurgents, and misbegotten opportunists who sought to take advantage of our instability. But we were not defenseless. When our people lost their jobs, we came together and built infrastructures that could support 10 times as many, uncompromised by the fleeting whims and petty ambitions of those who made money simply by manipulating the money of others. When violent criminals and deplorable opportunists rose deep within the bowels of our city, our warriors and guards of peace each made their contributions to the cause of driving them out. Together, they prevailed. When the rest of Japan lost its way, our economic might was there to guide it and rebuild its economy alongside our own. When this world was threatened by the blood fever, we created a cure. And whenever a foreign enemy came to our doorstep, our military was there. From the largest of corporations to the most humble of citizens, each of us made our contributions to Isamu, and together we prevailed. Once more, I thank you all for your attention and patience in observing this mandatory address. If you are afraid of what is to come, remember, we each fight the same enemies and share in the same victories. If you are interested in learning more about the threats our nation faces, please visit the National News Network's Citizen Action portal at www.nn.isus/enemies. Time has not dulled our blades, nor has it lessened our faith. Our cunning scientists and brave warriors are more prepared than ever to stave off this plague of bodily sickness and social disquietude. Since those days, Isamu has fought, and Isamu has prevailed. The days that lay ahead of us will no doubt force us to once again fight war without and within. But make no mistake, we will fight as one. We always have. Your unity has always granted us strength, and the hardship of those past days only provided our nation with proof that victory was our birthright. These days are no different. We are no different. Today, I humbly ask each and every one of you to stand ready, stand strong, and most importantly, to stand together. Because together we will prevail. 10,000 battles, 10,000 victories. Glory to Isamu! It always just sounds so culty, you know? It just sounds so very culty. Yeah, I guess, yeah, glory to Isamu. We'll see what Rui thinks about this in the next episode.